I have seen, I'll give you a real example, at a racetrack in Northern California, I saw a McLaren supercar get beaten around the track in a race by a driving instructor in a Miata.
Driving down the road yesterday, one thing I noticed that's not too uncommon. Fuel tank was really low. It happened to be about 12:30 in the morning. I was pretty tired, so if I had a fuel gauge on me, my fuel was low. In the process of driving a vehicle, you have a couple things at play. You have fuel and all the mechanisms and contraptions and processes needed to take that fuel from fuel to useful energy to power the car down the street. But you also have a driver. The question is, which one's more important? Which one is causing the vehicle to go where it needs to go? Is it the fuel? Is it the car? Or is it the driver? Hi, my name is Munchy. I'm a former athlete just like you, and this is The Wash Pod. Welcome to The Wash Pod, an audio and video experience brought to you by former athletes for former athletes looking to stay inspired, challenged, and empowered in life after sports, where we all battle Father Time to put points on the board and to find our prime. Let's get to work.
What's good, big fam?
I can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We gotta get the mic. There it go. Here it come. Here it comes.
Yo.
What's
Vernon
good
looking
with
right
you?
now? That's how I really picture him looking, always.
Vernon?
Hat on, with his chain on, with a t-shirt. I swear to God.
Hey, listen, bro, I've been rocking the same chain since high school, fam.
Bro, I would say you've been rocking that chain since at least junior high.
Hey, baby, it go in and out of style two, three times in a decade, but it's all good.
It's
Hey,
all
bro.
good.
Hey,
Man.
Tim,
What's up?
I was in about 6th, 7th grade, like, damn, this nigga got a gold chain. Damn. I want a gold chain. I didn't know I wasn't responsible enough to have a gold chain. I had a gold chain for 2 weeks.
Hey, you know what? You know what's crazy though?
Oh,
Vernon still. I played him in basketball about probably 6 months ago. DB. Vernon still cock diesel a little bit, man.
Hey.
Vernon still he a brick, bro.
Hey, you see, I'm like, yeah.
You see him over there like, yeah, I gets to it.
you know, I ain't got it like that, but you know, when it comes to the post, I do what I do. You know what I mean? I try to make it happen.
He gonna hit you with that shimmy.
Oh,
He gonna hit you with that
hey,
shimmy.
bro, he gonna hit you with the shimmy to the mid-range boy like crazy. That's what
He gonna hit you with that shimmy, fam.
He gonna hit you.
Listen, I can't jump like DB. I can't have dunk offs like DB and Shark when they had their little dunk off in the small gym. Shark shocked everybody, but you know,
Hey, his whole dunk was like, oh.
hey, he shocked himself, bro.
Facts.
Hey, what he do? What he do though? What he do?
Some nasty little. So he got
Little
Derek
baby
got to
windmill.
talking crazy. DB came at him wild, like you can't even dunk. Shark threw it off glass.
That's what.
Ugh. You remember that?
Yeah. Hey, on some real shit. I tried to get Shark on. He said he was busy or something. I'm like, Tommy, come on, Tommy. Come on, Tommy.
Man. Shark wasn't busy, you know. Hey, but no, hey, we're gonna jump off real quick. We're gonna go ahead and get it. Second episode of the Wash Pod. Got my boy DB on. Munch and Kyle was busy today. But we do got my man Vernon on. Vernon, go ahead and introduce yourself. We went to school with Vernon. Vernon is, man, I'm gonna let him do it. But man, when I tell you that the man is an entrepreneur in every sense of the word, he's an entrepreneur in every sense of the word. So go ahead and introduce yourself to Vernon.
Oh man, Vernon Wilmington, born and raised Davenport, Iowa. Privileged and honored to be on the call with Timothy Harrington, Timothy Harrington.
Wade.
And my man Derek Beecham, man. You know, we all go way back. I'm just privileged to be on the call with y'all, man. You know, for you even think about me. But again, Vernon Wilmington, born and raised Davenport, Iowa. Still live here. Grew up, all over Davenport, actually. Went to North High School, working at UPS now. Obviously, I do some things on the side as far as marketing in the past, just different things. I got a, transportation service starting here soon. And so, that's what it is at this point. Like I told you earlier, me and DB did a joint venture on the 3-on-3 tournament.
I was wondering if you was going to bring that up. Hey, stay hustling any way we could get it.
Man, all different ways and types. So, I appreciate it, though. Thanks for having me, man. Sure.
Yeah,
How long
no.
you been working at UPS? On the low, Tim, Vern was one of the first people I know with like a real like grown-up job.
No doubt. You like took the words out of my mouth. I remember seeing Vern because when I started selling cars, like, you know, I didn't really dress up like that. I ain't even own a suit. And then I started seeing Vern, like this is back in like 08, 06, something like that. And he will always be suited and booted. I'm like, bro, doing it, man. And so I'm looking at my man like, okay, that's the level I gotta get to. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead, Vern. Go ahead, Vern.
No, but I've been with UPS though. Real, it's crazy, bro. But it'd be 17 years July 1st, bro.
I believe that.
17 years. So like, it's kind of crazy because when you think about it, you know, when you come into a job right out of college, you know what I'm saying? I'm 21, about to turn 22, and everybody talking about, hey, I've been here 15, 13 years. I'm thinking, I don't know nothing about a career. And look at me now, 17 years later, I'm still here, man.
Still here. And nothing against the folks packing trucks. He ain't packing trucks. Just you ain't gonna want to tell like your whole job.
He modest. Like I unpacked the trucks. Like seriously, I remember when I worked at UPS, I worked there for like 3 days and like 2 hours. Bro. Because I was like, they had me get up at 4 a.m. and then they had me on call. And then one day they like called me at like 3:50 because the guy that was like the regular dude, he must have called in or something. And since I didn't answer my phone, they was like, hey, you gotta go. You know what I'm saying? Like, you on call, you supposed to be here. But I do remember unloading, and I would get so frustrated, DB, this is a true story, because Vern would get there about like 7:30 or so, right? And so I would go to the when I was done unloading, walk up to like the office, and I would see him in a suit. I'm out here sweating, sore. You know what I'm saying? I'm sore, I'm mad. And then I would also see the dudes that drove the trucks, just like people just loading them up. They just loading them. I'm like, man, I'm in the wrong job, man.
Hey, I got that beat. I didn't get a job at UPS. Everybody get hired at UPS. Something about me, they was like, nah.
I swear you, bro.
Like, I swear, they was like, nah, your vibe off, fam. Your vibe off.
Hey, they probably seen you cuss out JD Rios and was like, nah, man, we can't hire him. We can't.
Could have been a number of things. Hey, on some real, I would have never showed up at 4 o'clock. It would have been one time I'd been like, yeah, I ain't making it. So, and whoever was hiring, they was right though.
Yeah, seriously. When they fired me, they was right, because I promise you, like, I would have done that job real average. And some of us, let's be real, let's get into the podcast now. Some of us are doing a job right now that we're not supposed to be doing it, and we're doing it average, and we're getting average results.
I agree with you, man, because what it boils down to is people, you know, you start one thing as a youngster and you get into it. And I'm actually struggling with that too, because obviously from the entrepreneur perspective and breaking into that part, obviously I still, you know, have my career with UPS, but you get into something and then later you realize maybe it's not your passion, maybe it's not what you want to do. And you kind of get stuck into it. I remember my brother told me a while back, it's like, yo, he was like, man, the older you are, the harder it is to break away and do things that maybe you wish you could have done or wish you would have done. So telling the youngsters, when I say youngsters, 25, 26, anybody that age, man, really pursue your passion, because when you get caught up into this life, you'll end up doing things that maybe you really don't want to be doing, like you, to your point, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
Or does it make you happy or give you that fulfillment? You feel me?
Yeah, like today is the anniversary of my sister's death in 2016, right? And
condolences, brother. Sorry, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. And the one thing that I've learned from that is just how short this life actually is, and just like how, you know, and this may sound cliche, but some of us are sitting on $1 million like idea and opportunity, but we're so stuck in the matrix that we don't want to go take that risk. We don't want to jump out there and do the, you know what I'm saying, and take a risk and dare I say fail, right? And I think that's some of the things that helped us as athletes, right? Because that's the topic today, is like, in what ways does your approach to life today have parallels or connections to the way you played or prepared yourself to be a student athlete? Okay, so when I look at where I'm at right now, it's probably opposite than probably some of the things that you guys are gonna say, because I was like a lazy student athlete. I'm just gonna be real. Like, we're transparent and authentic on this podcast. I was a lazy student athlete, meaning DB, like from what I can remember him, every time I seen him, he had a basketball in his hand. Every time
For sure.
he had a
For
basketball in
sure.
his hand. Like you could mention go hoop, let's go hoop, and DB was like, it was no question, he was there. He wouldn't even know how he was getting there.
I'd take it one place further. I'd be like, if you told me you didn't have a ride and I had my white car, I'd come swoop you.
You come
You
swoop?
already know. I'd be like, I'm on my way then.
With the gas light on and stop by the gas station and put $2 in. Hey. You know, I ain't never gonna let DB let that down. But listen to me though. So now that I'm in business and like I'm running multiple businesses, I'm trying to. I look at what I burn
multiple businesses.
I look at the things I didn't do well when I was a student athlete, right? Like, because I wasn't as committed as I should be. I didn't put in the extra time. I didn't really understand why I wanted to be a great athlete or whatever. It was what everybody was doing at the time. So what do you guys speak to that? What are some things that helped you, that have parallels to where you're at right now from when you were a student athlete?
I'll let Vernon go.
Yeah, man. Well, I mean, that's a great question. I mean, as far as me being a student athlete, I mean, everybody's, and I don't want to take it there, but everybody's home situation is different, right? So with your home situation being different, mine was really a lot of self-drive and self-determination. Because, contrary to my boys, they got me pushing them. Hey, you need to do this. Hey, that's not quite enough. Hey, you didn't get that. All I had was me pushing me, so to speak. Nobody was day-to-day telling me, hey, this is what you need to do. So I might be out in the middle of the street, dribbling a basketball, doing what I thought I needed to do and thought was enough, but realized it wasn't enough. So it was a self-drive. But that self-drive said, hey, man, well, I'm not making my jumper. Or DB's coming after my spot on varsity. Real talk though, right? Right? So he's coming. So I'm like, dang, what can I gotta try to stay starting. I gotta try to stay playing. I gotta try to stay relevant. So to do that, it just took a lot of extra effort and hard work. So what I do is and me being competitive. I remember, Tim tells a story all the time. He's a freshman. I'm a junior. Him and Patrick come in the gym. I'm like, man, I'll beat both of y'all 2-on-1. Just so because I felt like that was so it was just a competitive spirit though. And so I didn't do it. I didn't succeed, but in my mind, I thought I could. So how I relate that to my everyday life is, hey, you know what? Set the goals high and be self-determined and push you, because ultimately you may not have someone that will push you. You might not have a spouse that will push you. You might not have a kid or even a partner like Tim or DB that say, hey man, get up and do that. Or, you might have to do it yourself. So really what I do is I take my childhood and student athlete perspective and say, hey, use that self-drive to catapult you. So I know that was kind of long-winded, but that's kind of my thoughts on it, bro.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with Vern. Like, I always believed in me. Shit, if nobody else gonna believe in me, I'm gonna believe in me, fam. So I just take that to get it how I can. So whether it was on the basketball court or in life, like I know there's one person you always can count on, and that's gonna be yourself. So I tell the story of me going up to Marshalltown. Y'all know me and Rios didn't have the greatest relationship.
Yeah.
So like I had to sit out a year, but I called up the coaches on some JUCOs, and the JUCO coach at Marshalltown was like, if you come to our open gym, we can talk afterwards. Man, I drove my aunt's Blazer up there straight out the car. You know me, I'm windmilling, reverse dunking. We got in a skirmish. I banged down their point guard. I'm barking, I'm pushing niggas down. I almost got in a little skirmish up there. But hey, left with a scholarship, with the dorms, like, hey, this the dorms with a whole walkthrough. Like, because you know what? It was 2.5 hours away, but I'm gonna always count on me, and that's in life. Like, if it ends up being me or like someone else, like, it might not always be the right decision, but I'm gonna go with me.
Yeah, and I love that. But you two are some of the strongest minded people that I know. Like, because I know you guys have gone through challenges, you face adversity. Two of the best fathers I know. I'm the guy. I'm gonna be transparent. Well, I didn't have that self-belief. I grew up with a lot of doubt. I grew up with a lot of like, okay, I didn't necessarily believe in me and/or wanted to bet on me at times. So for those people that may listen to this that don't have what you guys have, like that self-determination, that just I'm betting on me kind of dog mentality, what do you say to those people?
Vern got grown kid. I want to hear the Vern
Yeah,
answer.
what do you say to
first.
those people?
Like,
Because not everybody, let's be
real
real, not
adult
everybody,
over here.
not everybody's gonna have that determination and that self-confidence that you guys have. So what do you say to the people that may listen to this that say, I don't believe in me? How do I overcome that?
Well, I think the first thing is, I would say, obviously it's bigger than us. So, your faith, having a faith. So I would say, go to your faith and say, hey, you know what, talk, talk to the man upstairs and try to instill that in you if that's something you're struggling with. Because you're right, it's not easy to do that. And even though I had that mentality, I still fell short a lot because I still didn't go as hard as I felt like I could have gone or should have gone or wanted to go as I look back. So nobody's perfect in that. I mean, you got people like Kobe Bryant, who are one of the most, and Michael Jordan, when you talk in sports, are one of the most self-determined people. I mean, they're going to outwork everybody. They're going to do those things. So in order to build confidence, the work comes. With the confidence and work, it kind of works hand in hand. So if you're working hard, you're going to get that confidence to then believe in yourself. That's kind of how I look at it.
Ooh, that's deep. That's deep.
I think Tim had a great thing. It was about your circle, right?
Yeah.
Like growing up, my mom always was gonna be for me. Like shit. If someone else was gonna believe in me more, like my mom Dukes was like, nah, you got it. Like
Right.
you got it. So you gotta have a circle. You gotta have people you can count on who believe in you. And like if you don't, you gotta find some different people, fam.
Ooh, okay, say that again. No. I can't let you move past that.
Hey, bro,
again.
like you and I think it was D-Ray was something about people forgiveness or cancel culture. I'm canceling niggas, fam. If you like, hey, like where I'm from Brown Street. You better cancel niggas. You be still on Brown Street. You still be hustling. Like you better cancel anyone who ain't with you or don't believe in you.
So me and Vernon, man, like both of y'all are my brothers. Me and Vernon almost talk every day, sometimes about basketball, sometimes real stuff. And before you know it, we'll be an hour in. You know what I'm saying? But one of the things we talk about is, but how do you do that? Like, how do you get to the point where you got to cut some folks off in your life that aren't helping you or moving you closer to where you're trying to get to? Because that's important. Because like I said in our last podcast, energy costs money.
Yes.
Your lights on in your house right now, it's costing you. They're going to send you a bill. Right? And so if you're giving all your energy to negative situations, how can you move forward? So how do you like muster up enough courage or strength to cut those people off, DB?
But you ain't muster. So the way I look at it is, it's not mustering up courage, right? It's putting your energies into the activities that you want to be in, right? So if you want to hoop and you like, well, I want to hoop, and you're not in the gym 3-4 hours a day, instead of you playing video games, like you don't want to hoop. So you didn't cut off the video game people because you still with the video game people. In the gym, you physically cut them off from you because now you in the gym and now you only around people who are like-minded around the gym. If you about your studying.
But they keep asking me, they keep inviting me to play the game.
Bro, the gym inviting you. Man, these kids got so much time in the gym. It's crazy. Like,
but DB, I like it.
In the St. Ambrose. In the St. Ambrose, fam.
You said what?
We used to sneak into St. Ambrose when we was in high school.
Anything. True story. But no, and to that point though, Tim, like you said, the energy, I think, man, one thing, it was my man Nas said it. He said, best friends become strangers. And that's not a bad thing. It could be a natural maturation. So when you say have the courage or the energy, it's just like, hey, when two people are where you're not vibing a certain way and you know where you're going, you will naturally release those that are not on the same path as you. So I think it's more of a natural maturation where you don't even got to do it because your actions and your moves will create that disconnect. For example, I mean, if I'm moving a certain way, I'm married. I try to move with married people, you know what I mean? Because I want to do like things. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with single people, but naturally, if I had a single friend that was always diddy bopping every weekend, that's not my interest. So naturally, I wouldn't have to say, man, I'm not fooling with you. It would be, oh, hey, you gonna come out? Nah, man. I mean, you gonna do that? Nah, man, I gotta do this. No, I'm running here. No, I'm running here. So naturally, the natural maturation will eventually separate and remove that person from you.
But what about when your friends get in your feelings though, in their feelings? Oh, I'm sure y'all have heard this before. I guarantee you guys have heard. Oh man, you act like you better than people now, or oh you don't even mess with me no more, bro. Like man, you moved to the burbs and just forgot about. I'm sure y'all hear stuff like that. How do you deal with that?
That's a tough one. But what it is
Look at hey, real quick, look at DB. He like, so?
Hey, I might not really have fucked with you back in the day, shit. On some real shit.
True that. And that's the thing. You kind of like, in me, I'm gonna be honest, it'd be a joke. Nah, man, ain't even like that. But shoot, I keep it moving because really, if you talking to me like that, really, I ain't got no interest for you anyway. You ain't got nothing for me. I ain't got nothing for you. So I'm gonna keep it moving. Man, it ain't like that, but I'm gonna keep pressing. Now, if you want to be a part of what I'm doing or vice versa, we won't keep pressing. So I just really feel it's a natural maturation that takes place in those situations.
Man, that's deep right there because, and I'm telling you, like, there's some people out there, like, the way you guys moved, okay, it helped me move differently in terms of goals. Like, I used to go into to Wells and I seen DB start from here to now he running multiple places. And so that showed me what was possible. And I just wanted to be naturally around people who, this is going to sound selfish, who I could take stuff from. And I'm not talking about taking in terms of like taking stuff, like physical stuff from you. I need to take some of this mindset from you. I need to take some of Vernon's mental toughness from you. I need to take some of Derek's grit from him. So I naturally wanted to be around those types of people. And I think for the young athletes and people that are going to listen to this, that if you're moving in a way that is positive, that is striving for something, you will pull people up that are supposed to come up with you. And the people who don't want to move, they were going to always be stuck there no matter what. Okay, and so you got to focus on, okay, what am I doing on a day-to-day basis to improve myself?
Right. I had to tell my boy Sim. He was like, hey, get in the March Madness tournament with me. You know how you pick whatnot. I had to tell him, bro, I ain't watched basketball like that in about 5-10 years, fam. If I can't catch it on the replay, if I can't catch it on my league pass when I work out, I don't got time for it, fam. So I ain't tracking it day to day, fam. So I could just pick some teams. If you want me to put a dub in, so we keep it moving, but like, I ain't gonna care.
Right. I mean, Eric Thomas, you guys know that, like, I got his hat on right now. My man E.T., I got his hat on. I listen to his podcast.
I got that nigga DB hat on.
Yeah.
Hey, we gotta send you some stuff, Burn.
Yeah,
I got you with some stuff, Burn.
I can't get no merch. Can I get some merch?
Hey, what happened with everybody in Davenport? I go see my grandma every 2 weeks, right? But the winter done stopped. Like winter and COVID, I don't get to see her. And I always have stuff for my Davenport people like, whatnot. I'm gonna hit this when I go there, right? So I'm coming this weekend, or else she gonna, disown me. So I'm gonna have to go by everybody's house because I literally got a box of sweatshirts, shirts, pre-workout, CBD oil, CBD cream. Y'all see y'all, I'm just giving the plug.
Yeah,
all that
everything
in the trunk. So I got you, I swear.
Yeah. Hey, for sure. And look, and I want to pay retail price for it.
Bro, hey, I'm gonna tell you.
I want to pay retail.
I'm gonna tell you like I tell the fam. Like, I'm gonna give you the samplers for sure.
But see, you don't even get what I just said, though.
You don't even get what he just said.
I'm not gonna let you play it.
What he was just saying is, and this is a whole nother topic, is that so many people will say they support you, but ask for a discount.
Right.
Hey, that's not support.
I'm gonna support you.
Hey,
support you.
But this is what I say, Tim, and this go off to the last point. The people who say they want to support me, but don't really want to support me, I've been cut those niggas off. Like, Vern, I'm gonna give y'all the samplers because I want y'all to try it out because I know y'all gonna support me. It's not even worried.
No question, without saying it. So, but back to what I was saying, what ET said, and it goes to your point, DB. He said to some young athletes, and it hit home with me. He was talking to some young athletes. He said, some of y'all know LeBron stats, but you don't got no stats.
That's deep.
And it was deep because it was like, we live in a world right now where we will say we have goals, but we're really entertainment junkies.
Right.
I would rather watch you, and like, let's be real. My son went through a stage where he literally,
Yep.
Vernon, would watch other people play the video game on YouTube. And I'm like, when did this happen? Like, you watching my man play the game. I wanted to play the game.
Right.
You got the game, and you watching
Right.
other people play the game. And I just think that, like, we value entertainment way too much. What's your thoughts on that?
Go ahead, DB.
Man, hey, put me in the game, coach. I don't care. Like, I don't care. I need to do it. Like, I'm a doer, fam.
No question.
I'm a doer. So, like you said, people know Bron stats ain't got stats of their own. They watching Bron highlights. I had some, so I be coaching my boys, but there were some kids in the gym watching highlights in the basketball gym. They watching basketball highlights in the gym. I had to pull them aside. Hey, fam, when I'm here, we play basketball.
Yeah.
Like, if you see me in the gym, you better be working on your skills, because I ain't going. Like,
wow.
I don't want my sons to think when you go to the gym, you do anything but hoop.
Wow.
So if y'all not gonna be on hooping on this court, I'm gonna need y'all to leave.
Wow. And you're right. And what do you think that is, though? Because I'm telling you, like, my son, Vernon knows this. My son, Josiah, 12, decent.
Jojo, nice.
He a decent little ball player, right? But my man, like, he caught up in the watching the overtime videos and the ballers life videos and all this other stuff. And I'm like, son, we wanted to hoop. And then there's this new generation right now where I call young athletes, they're fans. Like, you walk in the gym, oh, they're such and such. They're such and such. Let's go follow him on Instagram. Where I think our generation was like, oh, we about to go get him buckets or we gonna shut him down. What changed?
It's you know what, I think it's the cool thing to do to be a fan. And like you said, it's a fine line between respecting somebody. You know, I would respect people's game. And obviously, I ain't gonna lie, I told you from the gates. DB know this about me. You know it. I thought mentally I was better than what I was looking back. But that's okay, because I really thought I was like that. And you couldn't tell me different. But the thing is, so when we get on the court, I told Tim this before, Isaac Connor, one of the coldest to do it in our era. They like, oh, I'm like, fam, you good? Let's go to the park. We're going to slaughter it right now. I'll give you buckets. I'll lock you up. I'm going to D you up. You're not going to do nothing with me. I respect you, but when it comes to that competitive nature, you can't do nothing with me. And I think the competitive grit has left. And I think it's because of the league and things like that. People don't take, like, we took pride in stopping somebody. Because if you scored on me, to me, that was a testament to you're better than me, or you know, my defense is weak. We wanted no part of our game to be weak. And I think that's the difference nowadays. It's okay to, oh, he cold, I'm gonna give him props. Nah, give him props to a certain extent, but every time you on the court, you're supposed to destroy him. And to be honest with you, I don't know where the mentality came from. I don't know where the shift came from, bro.
But the problem is that mentality is translating into business now. Cause DB, when I promise you, I walked into like his bank one time and I felt like bad for one of his team members that, you know, he was in charge of. Cause DB said this, and I quote, "Hey, ain't you lobby leader?" I'll never forget it. Like, and my man was like, you know what I'm saying? But DB had a standard. Like, we will be the best branch in the QC. And if you're supposed to be greeting people, get your butt up there and start greeting people. You follow me? And so that competitive grit translated over to business. But what I'm seeing in business is that lack of grit and competitiveness and determination is translating over to some of our young entrepreneurs, where they're okay with being average. They're okay with, you know, just getting by. They're okay with that. How do you flip that?
Hey man, I'm gonna keep it 100. Life ain't for everybody, fam. I want everybody to be a little average, because I know me. We great over here, fam. So if everybody out the gate is average, shit. If you got that last name Beecham, you good then, fam.
So what
DB the way I raise my sons is, hey, we don't do that.
So what DB saying to the
I'm
listener,
telling my sons right now, we don't do that. We don't do that.
What DB saying to the listeners is basically be average, because I'm gonna go get all of it. That's basically what he's saying. If you don't want it,
You want something that ain't average? Get some of this pre-workout, fam. Get some of this CBD cream, fam.
Hey, you see the plug? You see the plug?
You better stop playing.
So DB is like, hey, listen, I'm gonna capitalize on your laziness or your lack of grit or your lack of competitive spirit. I will capitalize on that.
Bro,
Vernon,
I know those moments ain't average.
I know they ain't average, not at all.
I mean, to be honest with you, I have a hard time dealing with that average because, again, I don't know if it's nurture as a shorty and how I came up. See, I was the youngest, right? So I'm chasing big bro now. They doing something. I'm trying to be just as good at them. My brother used to tell me all the time, man, he's 15 years older than me. Dude, you trying to be 30 when you 15. Because I wanted to be serious, because I wanted to be better. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be mama's youngest, the strongest. So my mindset is average isn't acceptable in my house. I mean, if all you are capable of is average, then you're doing what you're capable of.
Right.
But if you're capable of more, I expect more. Because if you want a certain, you want a certain lifestyle, you want to live a certain way. If you want a certain quality of life, being average won't get you that. Everybody you're a fan of and what they're looking at on TV and looking at people shining on social media, things like that, none of those people are average because you wouldn't be looking at them if they were. So again, man, my mindset is it's hard for me to talk that average because that's just not something that's been inbred in me. And so it's hard for me to really relate to that. And just changing the mindset is just want more, desire more, yearn for more.
Yeah, and put in the work. A lot of these cats, hey G man, a lot of these cats don't know how to work, fam. Like I'm gonna tell you, my bank account look right, but I be up at like 5, 6 in the morning every day working, like packaging and shit. Like my bank account look right, but I be up 12 o'clock at night working on something to make it. Like I told the boys, hey fam, you're not built like that. Like you didn't earn anything in this house. You don't earn anything that you got. Like you didn't make this. Like I made this. So you're gonna have to earn everything. You're gonna have to make sure you built like that. Even though you see my son.
Yeah, absolutely. What up?
Looking wild as hell right now.
So I'm gonna take a little different approach, guys, because I know I don't like average either, right? I don't. But there's somebody listening to this podcast right now, or that will be listening to it that may consider themselves average, right? And so what I want to say to that person is, listen, number one, it starts with being self-aware. Like DB said, you got to work. And so you could lie to Facebook, you could lie to your friends, but you know when you look yourself in the mirror if you put in a hard day work or not. You know that. So it starts with being self-aware and then taking ownership of your situation. Like you got to take ownership where you are right now. So if I'm not starting on the basketball team right now, I got to take ownership of that. If I'm not getting promoted, if I'm getting overlooked in my business for opportunities, I got to take ownership of that right now, right? If my grades, right? If I'm like borderline failing, it's not the teacher's fault. I got to take ownership of that right now. So the sooner you can take ownership of your situation, then the sooner you can grow from it. Okay, because not everybody is going to be as naturally gifted in the areas you guys are. Right. That's why we want to do this podcast, because we want to be like, boom, this is where I was. I grew up with y'all. And where you guys are at right now is phenomenal. And there's been a lot of growth that has happened. So what are those things that you did? What was the pivotal moments that allowed you to do that?
Well, first and foremost, though, Tim, I mean, you saying y'all a lot, but obviously what you've done and what you're doing is amazing. First and foremost, I'd like to give a shout out. Shout out to you on that, man, because you're doing big things. Very huge pillar in the community. So obviously, I know you don't give yourself flowers, but I'm gonna give you the flowers for you. But as far as that goes, man, I guess when we're talking about that, the key is some people are okay with being average. Almost to DB's point, some people want to be average and okay with that. And because guess what? To whom much is given, much is expected.
Wow.
There's a lot more pressure on the plate, bro. So some people don't want what DB's doing. They don't want to have the pressure being up at 5 a.m. or being up to 12 a.m. They don't want that. So the key is you got to decipher what you want. So now if you got people that are average and say they want more than average, then let's talk about how do you do that?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you want? Are you putting goals in place? I'm going to say this, but I don't remember off the top of my head, so I really don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it anyway. Do you have SMART goals? Part of that is measurable, attainable. You know what I mean? So are you doing those things? So what are you learning? Are you seeking knowledge? So for the ones that want to be above average, there's a lot of things that they can do to set themselves above average. One thing I say is study the greats, man. And anything you're trying to do, study the greats. Because there's a recipe in what they're doing. They might not all do it the same, but there's certain ingredients that each one of them possess that can help you. And it's like, so for example, if you're looking at Michael Jordan, if you're looking at E.T., if you're looking at the President of the United States, one thing that might be consistent is
Moneybag Joe. I'm sorry, I just love
Munch.
that.
Munch. No, so one thing that might be consistent is they all get up and they all exercise daily because it gets the endorphins going in their brain at 6 a.m. That might be one piece. So anyways, I'm just saying, if you want that, there's ways to do that. You got to seek the information, because that's what I did.
Man, that was deep, bro. And I appreciate you saying that, because basically what you said, you got to really decide what you want. Like, right. Okay, so, but here's the thing. I promise you, if you are average, okay, you can't expect to be phenomenal or get phenomenal results if you're doing average work and you're putting in average effort. And that's the thing that gets me. There he is. He looked like he just came from a 10-mile run. Munch just jogged 10 miles, man.
Munch confused.
He frozen right now on my end.
He froze.
No, but you feel what I'm saying, though? Like, there's so many people out there. Like, look at social media. Look at what people complain about. Right? And we live in a world right now where people will complain, but are not putting in the work. So, again, for the people that may listen to this, the athlete, if you're getting 10 minutes a game, evaluate yourself and say, am I putting forth 10 minutes a game worth of effort? Evaluate yourself and say, why is coach overlooking me? Don't go to mom and be like, Mom, he ain't playing me. Ask yourself, why does he trust this other person's skill set and not mine?
We've all coached, right? So I don't think anybody that's coached has ever put anybody on the floor that they thought they were going to lose with.
No question. See, Munch did what Kyle did last week. Kyle come in late and immediately just drop a bar. Like, Munch just did the same thing, So, but listen, like, seriously though, when you look at what made you the best athlete, okay, what made you a phenomenal athlete, and what parallels led you to where you are today, I think both of you, your competitive spirit, your grit, and just that determination and will to win has helped both of you guys in your career and in your life and the type of fathers you are.
One thing I'll say to that is, if you continue getting the same result, you have to change your actions and your preparation. And that's what people don't want to do, because no matter what journey you're on, dang, I can't get a promotion. It's been 5 years. What are you doing differently? If I can't get off the bench, what have you done differently? You see what I'm saying? And a lot of people, and that goes to self-evaluation, because a lot of people want to say, am I doing something differently today than I did yesterday?
Yeah.
If I want to be the mid-range king, which I felt like I was the mid-range king back in my day, what did I do? I put the effort in. I was always hitting the elbow jumper. And actually, Rios gave me some great advice on that. Speaking of Rios, but what I'm saying though is, it wasn't good. It wasn't as great, but then I changed my trajectory of what I was doing. And that's what people don't want to do. They don't want to change the trajectory of what they're doing.
And let me add something to that real quick, Vernon. And what everything he said is spot on, but what you also got to do is get some people around you that are going to tell you the truth, that love you enough to tell you the truth, that love you enough to say, hey, bro, I know you want to be the mid-range king, but that maybe not be your game. Get your butt down on the block, right? I'm not saying that to you specifically, Vernon, but I'm saying you got to get around people that love you enough to tell you the truth. I feel like people are organizing their circles nowadays with people that just going to give them all the fluff and all the affirmation that's not real.
Yeah. Hey, on that note, some of these folks is weak as hell, fam. That's it. They just weak as hell.
Right. Or like you don't recognize that, all right, like there may be an opportunity for you to contribute in another way. You just don't want to do it. Right? Like, so like you may not be the best scorer, right? You may not be the best 3-point shooter, but your team might need a rebounder. Maybe you need to be that. If you really just care about playing, you got to figure out how to get on the court. Like Vernon was just saying, like sometimes you ain't getting that promotion because you only bring a couple things to the table. right? And you ain't recognizing that the strategy is like, if it's a team effort and there's somebody better than you in that spot, you either, like Derek said, you get tough and you get better than that person, or you find out how else I can fit in.
Oh, wow. Wow. I mean, E.T. said it best when I went to go watch him speak in Chicago. He said, some of you guys are trying to be great in public, but in private, you average.
That's so dope. That's so dope.
Right.
Right. And I think there's a lot of young athletes and a lot of people right now, you're trying to be great on Facebook. You're trying to be great on Instagram, right? You're trying to be great on YouTube, but in private, you're not putting forth the work. And that's just the harsh reality, right? And so I think that and the reason why we wanted to do this is because all of us have done some level of work to get us to where we are right now. And we're continuing to work because we aspire for more, whatever that looks like individually. Okay. So how do we motivate people who want to be great, right? But man, they don't have a blueprint. They don't have a plan.
I tell them, stop lying to yourself and start keeping score.
So you can't. What you mean by that? What you mean by that?
That means if you need somebody to motivate you, you lying to yourself already. Realistically, like if you don't wake up and you already working towards that thing because that's intrinsically what you want, then you lying to yourself about what you want to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. You just ain't found that thing that like really drives you. And especially like for young athletes, like that's why like the last podcast we talked about like that what sports had kind of grown into, this commercial aspect. Like we get drawn into sports because of what we see and what we think we can get out of it, not because guys really want to be great basketball players. And that's okay. But with that comes the lack of motivation, the lack of commitment, the lack of desire, right? So you got to find ways to kind of trick yourself to stay motivated. And one way that I think, and we talked about it last time, is just keep a score. Make it a game. Figure it out. If you don't have that intrinsic motivation to just be the greatest at whatever you're trying to do, then you got to figure out ways to trip that up in you. So
that's a great point. But to that point, I haven't said it because I know we've kind of been talking about self-motivation and self-moving. But Tim has mentioned it a few times, having a circle and having that, because I'm telling you right now, I see a lot of people with inherent talent, but don't understand or don't have the tools to put their talent on display. So you do need people. You need Joe Jackson to have Mike Jackson.
You need Joe. Hey, say it again. I feel like these dads is getting a bad rap, man. Say the Joe Jackson part again.
Oh, I love Joe Jackson. I'm lightweight Joe Jackson. Be real with you. But I'm saying some people have a talent, and like you said, everybody doesn't have that inherited go-get attitude. Like I told them before, Munch, when you was on, mentally, I thought I was better than what I was. I thought I was like that. In 6th grade, I told Sean Hicks, I'm going to be a McDonald's All-American, and I believed it with all my heart. But I didn't have anyone really tooling me and guiding me. So I had that part of it, but I didn't have the skill. Let's think about the person with the skill, all the skill in the world, but don't know how to utilize that skill.
But so let me just piggyback because I like that conversation. So in my perspective, and this is just for me, not even my own experience from being around y'all, seeing other kids coming up, coaching up here, I think the problem comes when you didn't have to earn something, right? Or you didn't earn it, right? So there wasn't a process for you to get it, which is what's required to be great, right? It's a process. Nobody just wakes up and is great, even if they have the talent to begin with, even if somebody's screaming at them. But then the second part is, do you have an example of exactly where you're trying to get that can actually show you what that process looks like? Mm-hmm. So like had you had somebody next to you that had been through the route of going to be a McDonald's All-American, you probably would have got there if they were in your circle, to your point, saying, hey, Vern, cool, that's what you want to do? Well, here's the steps. This is what it is. Yeah. And then at that point, you sign up to do that work or not, right? And then you may need some motivation along the way to continue down that path. But it's hard to buy into something that's like on the moon, even though it sounds good at the time, when you realize like there's still steps to get to that moon.
No question.
Right?
Clarity builds confidence, brother. Clarity builds confidence. Like if I know step by step what the directions are to build this, I'm gonna be more confident than if I just have all these pieces laying around and be like, okay, this is what it needs to look like. So that's deep. That's deep.
Definitely. They definitely need the blueprint, man. That's a great point. And you know, let it step by step, you know, just talking about things, you know, and how we do our kids, you know, for example, the generations get better because you try to, you know, there's some positive things about the generations, but there's some negative things like we've talked about, self-will, doing these things because they have parents that's helping them a lot of the way. You know, a lot of the great things were earned on our own because, you know, we just, you know, fought through it. But I mean, to that point, like, I mean, just I didn't have a left hand at all. That was my biggest downfall. So no one said, like Tim said, to be honest, Coach Vaquero, 9th grade, I'm scoring 21 points a game, but he didn't say, hey, he was content with winning ball games and me scoring, but not saying, hey, let me develop this guy. He's got to have this left hand in order to be able to do better. So what I'm saying is, you got the talent and will, but you do need some guidance. And basically what we're doing now with Tim, you know, you all are doing now, trying to put this together is going to help give these kids guidance because there's some with an amazing talent, but just don't know how to utilize it or unlock it, so to speak. So, I mean, the self-motivation is key, but it's just, how do we reach those that aren't self-motivated but have the talent?
Right, because that was me. I'm gonna be real. Like I told you guys, I wasn't like necessarily self-motivated. I didn't have the mindset that a DB had, that you had, Vernon, growing up. Like I probably was coddled by my parents, to be real. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it took me realizing some of the opportunities that I lost by not honoring my craft the way it should have been, not working hard enough to be a better athlete or be a more conditioned athlete. I looked at what I didn't do in those areas, and it's actually helped me in business because now I know I need to, okay, this is where I failed as a youth, as an athlete. I didn't put enough work in here, right? I didn't get up early enough. I didn't work in the unseen hours, right? All I wanted the allure and the satisfaction of playing the game, okay? And so now I look at my businesses and I'm like, okay, that's why I try to work so hard at 5 a.m. like Derek, or at 8 o'clock at night, because I knew, okay, this is what I know now. This is what it takes. But early on, I didn't know that.
So let me ask you, would it have changed if you had an example around you that had exactly what you wanted, had done it, and literally was living it or telling you, do this?
It potentially would have been, but honestly, what I come to find out, I didn't really want basketball like I said I wanted it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I realized. Like, I mean, I was cool, but I didn't love. I did it because my friends were doing it. And I was halfway decent. I wanted to be exactly where I'm at right now. Like I've always had a passion to be an entrepreneur, to be a speaker, to be a coach, to be someone who inspired other people, right? And so that situation prepared me much for where I'm at right now.
No doubt.
Is my mic on?
Yep.
Yeah. Sometimes that yellow bar don't pop up. But that's why I say some of these niggas just weak as hell, fam. They don't really want that.
But hold on. That ain't weak though. That's not weak.
I ain't no guru though. I ain't trying to motivate everybody to live a better life, fam.
Right.
Hey, Munch, you know, I'm only fucking with niggas with my last name and the fam. Like, if you're not there, hey, I'll drive past you. You drown messing with me.
Right.
This boat gotta keep going.
So I get where Derek's comment about being weak comes from, because that's how we built. But like, is it weak to not have the same desire for something because you don't believe, right? Right? You don't go that hard because you really don't know or don't believe.
You don't want it.
Well, or that you don't want it, like, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, somebody put it in your head, like you said, I'm just out here hooping or playing whatever sport because my dudes do it. It's cool. You know, in high school and stuff, you play the team sports because that's where the fans go. You get the notoriety, you get the recognition, right. You get your identity from there.
Right.
But that don't mean you want to be a great basketball player.
My sons ask me all the time, Munch, Dad, why ain't you go and play at college and do all this stuff? I said, because I didn't want it. Because really, that's what it boils down to. Because if I really wanted it, I would have put in the work. I would have surrounded myself around people. I would have been an active participant in that area of my life. And at the time, I wasn't.
You was right there. You was at a D2. You was at that, what was it, in Minnesota?
Yeah, but here's the thing, DB, I didn't, like, that was pure talent.
Right.
I'm just telling you, I didn't
That's
work.
what I'm saying.
I did not work. I did not. You asked me to get up, Tim, and go shoot around. I'm like, no, I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? I'm good. Like, what time is practice? I'll be there. It start at 3. I'm there at 2:55. And so it really, and I wish he was on there real quick, Vernon, because Kyle's a perfect example of really wanting it. You know what I'm saying? You look at Kyle's high school career. I mean, cool. He transferred to North, went to state, right? Then he, got a Division I scholarship, went with JUCO.
And don't forget Marshalltown. Don't forget
Marshalltown.
Don't forget the home team.
Hey. And so he went, but dog, Kyle Lamont, the dude, 5 a.m. Hey, let's go play basketball. And Darren, you had some of that too. That wasn't me. I'm gonna be real. Like, nah, I'm chilling. Y'all let me know how it go.
I'm a hoop fan.
Because I didn't really want it like that. I mean, does that make sense, Munch?
Oh, absolutely. No, I 100% agree. I think the thing that, and Vernon kind of touched on this a second ago, talking about the generations and whatnot building on each other. There's a sense of belief that's necessary to do the work that's required to get to those type of levels, right? And if you look at the Quad Cities in general, if you look at around the times where guys either went to these D1 schools or, like right now, Chase is playing in the pros. Think about the level of belief you have as a kid coming from Rock Island, watching this kid play on ESPN, going on your phone, checking the box scores of him playing for the Orlando Magic right now. That changes what that 5 a.m. call registers in your mind, right? Like, oh, shit, it's real. I might be able to actually do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say, like, it's a combination of all the things we talked about in terms of people, like, putting forth the effort. So if we could provide some sort of help to people, I would just say get real about what you really want.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a current athlete, get real about what your end goal really is, and be okay with if it is like, all right, I just want to be part of something. That's fine. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You know, and if your high school career is the last time you played, there's nothing wrong with that. That's part of the reason why I like this phrase on my chest. Like, old and washed up to athletes is a bad thing, right? Like, you're like, bro, no, you're supposed to get old. Every athlete gets old, and at some point in time, the game stops for you. That don't mean that you're less than now the rest of your life. That just means that, hey, bro, your career arc looked like this. That's just what it is, and everybody got one.
Yeah,
you know.
And I agree with that. And I want to just make one comment though, and I think you guys all hit on it beautifully. But when we're talking about want, there's a difference between want versus passion or desire. So we're saying want, and we're kind of using it loosely, I believe, because a want is, yeah, I want that. I want $1 million. But do I desire and have the passion for the $1 million? Mm-hmm. Because that changes how people move. When you really desire and have a passion, it's not work to get up at 5 a.m. I give my daughter, for example. She has a desire and a passion for dance. When she teaches on Wednesday nights, it's not work. She goes to teach out of town, make a couple $100 in an hour. She forgets she's getting paid sometimes because it's a passion and desire. So it's not a want. So I think we got to really understand and kind of really dissect that term want versus desire and passion.
That's so good. That's so good. And when I go out, because I do speaking and consulting for businesses, and one of the first questions I ask the teams, right, that they bring me in to talk to is, what do you want? And what's the first thing they say? Those team members.
For money.
I want to make money.
I want to be successful.
I want to make money. I want to be successful. Okay. How much money you want to make? What did they say? I want to make 6 figures. And I will get a library. Quiet with this next question.
Tell him, Vern. I know Vern got it.
So, hey, listen, this next question, it would be dead silent. Why do you want that? And then nobody can answer it.
Should be able to, though.
Exactly. But to me, the reason why you can't answer that question is the reason you're not willing to get up at 5 a.m. Is the reason why you won't stay a couple hours past close, because you don't even know why you want what you say you want.
Facts.
And so we have to understand, okay, if I want to make 6 figures, why? What is it for? Do I want to pay off my debt? Do I want to pay cash for my kids' college? Do I want to buy a house? Do I want to create something generationally for my kids, for my family? We have to understand the why, because if we don't understand the why, the motivation I give you will be temporary. The only thing that can sustain you is you really understanding yourself. Why do I want what I want?
Real.
And so that's where I look at the want, the passion, the desire. Can you answer the question why in detail of why you want what you say you want? What do you guys think about that? Do you think that's accurate? You think I'm crazy?
Accurate. Because the why is what it's all about. That's what we existing for. I mean, the why is, okay, is it quality of life? I want to be able to provide. I want to be able to try. If you don't know the why, everything else is convoluted. You have to know the why. I agree. Simple as that.
What's your thought, Munch?
I agree with you, man. You know, I my mind is wired to be a bit pragmatic, so I usually always boil statements like that down to, all right, what are the tactics, techniques, tools? You know what I'm saying? But I agree 100%. At the end of the day, you've got to have some intrinsic thing that is above all the stuff that comes with life in order to navigate life and stay on the course, especially things that are like, you know, meaningful long term. Like, I'm not talking about like a 3-month goal or, you know, these quarterly goals you tend to get on the business side. You're talking about something that's, you know, you can't be taken away from you, something that you're gonna value for the rest of your life. It has to be, one, it's gonna take a long time to do it. 2, you're gonna have to overcome a lot of adversity. 3, you're gonna have to stay on that path. You're gonna have to be persistent, and all of that only works if you have something driving you that's bigger than whatever's going on in front of your face. So
that's deep.
Yeah, I agree with you. Definitely agree with you.
What's your thoughts, DB? I know DB about to say something like, man, whatever. Just do the
Bro,
work.
man. Hey, you know, like, cause this is where I get real simple, fam. Like, this is where I just get real simple. Like,
Yep.
I say want, cause if I want the shit, that's what I go for. And I don't want everything though. Like, if you look at my house right now, you like, is this a warehouse? Like, there's boxes and like,
Hey,
I don't live like that. I ain't really trying to be nice and fancy for everybody, fam. Like I'm trying right now, me and Munch trying to build a business, right? So every day after work, like I'm warehousing stuff, right? I'm trying to raise 2 men, not boys, not kids, 2 men who had the last name Beecham, right? So when I'm with them, like we on real life, I talk to them, we do discussions like that. We read every day, right? That other stuff, like I don't want that. Like I still got that same Honda, fam. It's like
I sold it to him. Let's go.
That Tim sold me, right? Like,
hey,
I'm
that's
still,
dope.
I'm still eating ramen with the cheese in it, fam, with some soy sauce now and a little hot sauce. Shout out to my cuz, like, because I don't want all that fancy stuff. Like, you got, like Tim said, you got to know what you want, but it got to be simple. You can't be wanting all these million things.
And here's the thing, I'm gonna add to that, DB, and listen, for those of you that will listen to this, listen to the conviction in which my man speaks. Like, I understand, I believe every word that came out of his mouth. Some of you guys are lying to yourself. Some of y'all are lying to yourself, and you're saying you want something because your parents maybe projected it on you, or your fans are projecting this on you, or your boss is projecting this on you, but you really don't want that. Hear me when I say this. There is value in the word no. Period. No is a full sentence. Do you want this? No. Some of you are so afraid to say no, and some of you are so like you feel like you got to give an explanation when you say no. Sometimes it's just no.
Bro, did you hear? You always be dropping these gems, fam. He said no is a full sentence. I was
That's
like,
what I'm about to say. Hold up, bro. Was that original, Tim?
No is a full sentence.
I'll just keep going. I'm sure.
Oh man, that was dope.
But I'm just saying, like,
I need that one.
Sometimes asking yourself why will help you realize what you don't want to.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it'll help you realize what you do want, and it'll help you realize what you don't want. And therefore, when you realize what you don't want, you better get comfortable with saying the word no.
Hey, and Tim, I know I don't want to be long-winded here, but you make a great point. Let's just bring it back to sports real quick. You talking NBA, NFL, things like that. If you want to be a family man, if you want to be around your kids daily, if you want to be at every holiday event with the family, you really don't want to leave.
Damn, boy.
Think about what I'm saying. Now you might want it at one point in your life, but in reality, me thinking how I live and what makes me happy, the league wasn't for me.
Yep.
Because I don't want to be on Christmas Day not with my kids.
Ask
but
Kyle.
That's me.
Yep.
So, anyways, I just thought about. So, man, you're absolutely right, man. You dropped some dope stuff. And before we get off, because I know you got a time limit, I want to say I'm blessed and privileged to be on a call with you, brothers, and taking in all this knowledge. Because all I can do is say, man, this is beautiful. Because the best thing in life you can get is knowledge. No one can take that from you. So if I could take something from, I've taken something from everything each of you said, and it's been a beautiful thing, and I'm going to apply it. So I really appreciate it, first and foremost.
Yeah, and that's the goal. And I'm gonna give the final word to Munch real quick, but I'm gonna say this is like when I reached out and we started talking about doing this, I'm gonna be transparent with you guys. Selfishly, I was like, man, I'm gonna get more out of this than everybody else. I'm gonna get more out of this than everybody else because I'm telling you, your life will move in the direction of your strongest thoughts. And I'm telling you what each and every one of you are aspiring to do and what you guys are doing. It's like, I need that. And I'm in growth mode. And so I will steal from everybody. Oh, he said, oh, yeah, I need all that. Can you say that again? Repeat it real quick so I can write that boy down. Because the end result, some of us are so focused and married onto the outcome that we forgot about the process. I need you guys to marry the process and divorce the result. And the process is getting up every single day, and whatever work is required to get what you say you want, you got to pay the cost, period. Go ahead, Munch.
Man, you gonna make me follow that up?
Always, right? He always makes somebody follow something crazy.
No, man. First and foremost, I want to apologize to y'all for being late, man, because I definitely prioritize this, and like both you guys just said, like I am, man. The last year, and I'll reach out to y'all personally on why I'm saying this. The last year has taught me a lot about the value of the people you have in your circle and the people you have that you can call on as true friends, especially people that you've known through different stages and phases of life that you know have stayed solid, stayed themselves, and always been true. So, and you guys are all that, 100% and more. You know, the more I talk to you, the more I connect with you, I start realizing, man, I don't know that much about, but man, y'all doing some crazy things. And me and Vern on a lot of different levels, man, to touch base. So Vern, it's always great to see you, great to talk to you. And I know even when I was a young cat, man, running with John and Shark, man, when I first met you, you was always dropping something on me. So I appreciate it, bro. Other than that, man, I really appreciate y'all doing this. And I hope that me and Derek are trying to put something together that's more like utility based in terms of why we say don't stop, keep a score. I hope that you guys can provide us some feedback and actually start using the stuff. Say, hey, here's how you can make this better, or here's what I would like to do with it. And then we'll go from there. I know you guys will. I just want to throw that out there right now that things are coming, that we're gonna be reaching out to people to try to get some early like beta test type feedback on the utility behind it, because a lot of this is great talk, is great like setting a foundation for working towards something. But then it's like, all right, in that process, what is that? What are my ABCs? What are my screens, my dribbling? What's my jump shot look like? How do I do that in terms of, being a former athlete and trying to maintain a certain level of wellness? How do I do that in actual practice? So it's not just conversation and not just, cliche statements. And Tim just dropping bombs all over the place. So, man, so I appreciate it. I didn't want to make like me coming late. Governor Whitmer up here, I'm a coach at high school. Governor Whitmer dropped the bomb on us and kind of reversed course on some practice requirements with COVID and stuff like that. So I had to deal with that real quick. So that's why I was late. It wasn't because I forgot. It wasn't because I wasn't prioritizing y'all as my brothers. I just want to throw that out there. And I appreciate y'all. Yeah.
So we're going to go ahead and end that one. Hey, listen, y'all go put in this work, man. Y'all go
appreciate you, Vern.
Next Friday.
Hey, go put in some work. Tell them go put in some work, man.
Go put in some work.
Hey, feedback is your best friend. Real talk. I'm glad you said that. I want feedback every day. I'm going to ask Tim for feedback on how I talk, because he verbalizes everything greatly. So I need some feedback, brother.
No. Right on, man. Right on
here, man. Hey, y'all brothers have a good day. Until next time.
Tim, send that.
We'll do. Hey, no, real quick. Go to oldwashedup.com. Grab you a sweatshirt. Grab you a t-shirt. Grab you some pre-workout. Grab you some CBD oil. Support the movement. Let's rock.
Join the team.
Hey, just bring it in, DB. I got you. I told you I'm playing retail, baby. I'm paying retail when you come.
Hey, I appreciate you. All right, y'all. I got.
Hey, hold on. Before you go, first, thank you for checking out the Wash Pod. If you found some value in this content for yourself or somebody you know, I want you to do 3 things. 1, go to our YouTube channel, subscribe to Old and Washed Up, and click the notification button, please. That's actually 2 things. 2 more things. Go to the website, oldandwashedup.com, click join the team, or send somebody to the website and tell them to click the join the team button so they can get locked into our newsletter and all things Old and Washed Up. And then the last thing, if you have some comments, some questions, whatnot, go to oldandwashedup.com/washpod so you can send us your feedback, your comments, your questions, and we will definitely include those questions or comments in our next episodes of the Wash Pod. Thank you very much. Have a good day.